Welcome. Tonight, Nigerian army calls on members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its armed affiliate Eastern Security Network to lay down their arms and surrender or face severe onslaught. The thousands of families turn out for the 20th edition of the Mommy G.O.'s Children's Christmas Party at the Redemption Camp, with the convener, Mrs. Folu Adeboye, enjoining all to imbibe the spirit of gratitude. 28-year-old Chioma Okpabi wins the second season of Channel's television social entrepreneurship reality show Fund It Forward, cutting home 30 million naira grand prize. And the deadliest accident ever in South Korea has killed 179 people today when an airliner barely landed and skidded off the end of the runway. We begin with security matters tonight, and from the southeastern region, where the General Commanding Officer 82 Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Operation Udoka, Major General Taiwo Dada, has just one message for criminals operating in that region. And his message is, lay down your arms or be ready to serve the onslaught from the military. General Dada, who says the military is not relenting in its efforts to bring in peace to that region, was speaking during the event to mark the 2024 West Africa Schools activities at the 34th Artillery Brigade in Obinze, Imo State. Our correspondent, Itokwe Kuteyi, reports.
The Nigerian Army 34th Artillery Brigade in Imo State in the last few years has been in the forefront of the fight against terrorism, banditry, and criminality facing Imo State. Under a joint security task force codenamed Operation Udoka, about 10 deadly camps operated by members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, were raided and decimated in 2024. However, here in a convivial atmosphere, officers and men of the 34th Artillery Brigade are celebrating successes recorded in 2024 under the West African social activities. The commander, 34th Artillery Brigade, Imo State, Brigadier General Usman Lawal, in his opening remarks, highlights the brigade's major achievements in recent times.
The achievements of the brigade so far has led to the reduction of crime, particularly kidnapping, armed robbery, and activities of the secessionist group. This has been achieved mostly through deterrence and threat protection in timely manner and by the neutralization of criminal elements.
Representing the Imo State Governor, the Commissioner for Homeland Security and Vigilante Affairs, Modestus Osakwe, commends the brigade for its efforts in bringing peace and tranquility to Imo State, especially during this Yuletide season.
As we celebrate the successes of the past year, permit me to state that 34th Artillery Brigade performed extremely well in year 2024. Your steadfastness greatly contributed to the relative peace which we enjoyed all year long. Additionally, I must commend the brigade's troops for their professional conduct during the recently concluded gubernatorial election in Imo State.
Meanwhile, the representative of the General Commanding Officer 82 Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Operation Udoka, Major General Taiwo Dada, is advising all bandits, terrorists, and criminal elements in the southeast to surrender and lay down their arms, as the Nigerian Army is committed to fighting these criminals headlong.
Southeast generally is going to be untenable, has become untenable for them, and they should just drop their weapons. They should drop their arms and join up as normal citizens and law-abiding citizens of this country. With that, we are going to have a progressive region. We are going to have a progressive nation generally, and everybody will be at peace. This is all what we wanted.
The event witnessed several cultural display, tug of war, lighting of the bonfire, and presentation of awards and gifts to deserving officers and friends of the brigade. Itokwe Kuteyi, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the police is also expressing its determination to sustain the fight against kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of criminality across Nigeria. A statement by the FAST Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, reels out the success recorded in the fight against criminals in the past 1 week. According to him, operatives of the Nigeria Police Force have further intensified and reinvigorated their strategies, resulting in the successful rescue of numerous victims and the apprehension of several suspects. The force PRO says the coordinated operations were conducted in various states, including Lagos and Kwara, leading to the rescue of 13 individuals who had earlier been kidnapped and held for ransom, and the arrest of several armed robbery suspects. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, has asked Nigerians to be optimistic about the coming year as the country has passed through its worst economic challenges. He was speaking on key expectations from the 2025 budget, with President Bola Tinubu presented to the National Assembly recently. The minister was at the residence of the president as part of the delegation who visited the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for bilateral discussions and collaboration.
We have taken the top choices. We have seen maybe where we have seen the worst we could see, and not unexpected. That is why social protection was improved. So what we are expecting to see in 25 is better economic, lower inflation, more employment opportunities, more support for businesses, more infrastructure development, more funding of security and better security, and all those priority areas, human capital development, education, health. We are sure to see more in that direction, and the quality of life will get better.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, who led the delegation, said the trip had led the investments and jobs for Nigeria. He says the trip is a follow-up of the economic diplomacy of President Bola Tinubu and the inroads he has made in Saudi Arabia.
We all went really to follow up on the economic diplomacy, the incisive, robust, and of course, exhaustive economic diplomacy that His Excellency, Mr. President, has carried out around the world, on all the continents, whether it's South America, Brazil, whether it's Asia, China, India, Europe, Germany, France, everywhere. It was in continuation as a follow-up to ensure that the inroads and successes that he has made with, in this case, in Saudi Arabia, the burgeoning, developing relationship with His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And we just followed up on some of those leads across the various opportunities that are there for foreign direct investment, for trade partnerships, and for even financial investment. What we have brought back is foreign exchange. What we have brought back is jobs for Nigerians. If you look at the demographics of Saudi Arabia, to the extent that they are investing abroad, they are not going to be exporting their people. They're not like some of the other big populous countries of Asia. So clearly, where they invest, that is jobs for Nigerians.
28-year-old Chioma Okpabi has emerged winner of the second season of Channels Television social entrepreneurship reality show Fund It Forward, which ended today. After seven intense weeks of learning, bonding, and reshaping their sustainable businesses, Chioma Okpabi has won the star prize of 30 million naira to defeat 11 other change agents with her Ed Tech Learning Initiative SWOOC. The first and second runners-up spots were also they also got 15 million and 10 million naira prizes as well.
It's the final day of season 2 of Channels Television social entrepreneurship reality show, Fund It Forward, and there's a cumulative 55 million naira up for grabs. The 4 finalists from an initial class of 12 agents have gone through the fire of competition, the bonding of friendship, the reliance of collaboration, and confidence of learning to arrive here today. And you can almost feel the pep in their steps, even if they admit to some levels of pressure.
Yeah, the pressure is there, but it's a bit for me. I'm more super excited and feeling the pressure, ready to light the stage on fire.
Like, King of Boys, it means that the pressure is actually very high, because not just the men looking at me, the women too that I'm actually going to make proud looking at me, and then my team as well. So I'm actually kind of tensed, but just as I always say, one bit at a time.
Yeah, I hope you will interview me again when I win, right?
Absolutely, yeah, I can't wait. It's my own job.
Coming on the Fund It Forward, I mean, the day I received the
the email, I registered a mindset, and the mindset was the mindset that I actually deserve to win because I know where I've been coming from.
Writing now, right? What are the key activities?
Over 6 weeks, they faced facilitators who made them better with practical experiences and judges who made tough calls on who would proceed to the next round, up until this grand finale today. The judges say making those choices became tougher as the show progresses.
So judging is never easy because you don't want to see anyone go, and it feels like a loss and a failure in the moment. And I don't want to say they gave us headache, but I think that they challenged us to help them really think critically about their work, about their drive, about their initiatives, and it was a pleasure to do so. Honestly, personally, that's what I love to do, anyways. So it wasn't a challenge. They didn't give us headaches. They challenged us to help them do better, and it was a hill worth fighting for, or worth dying on, as they say.
Well, I think from the beginning, it's been very close. We had a very good contestant this time around. They were all, prepared, especially since they've seen the first season, so they understand what they were up to and they were prepared. They did what they needed to do. So it's been very difficult, but the good thing is, it's just not one person. We have about 3 judges, so for me, it's just seeing the person that impresses me, then we accumulate the result.
It's an open door finals with guests including some other agents from the current season, family and friends of some of the finalists, and others including the chairman of Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momo, some behind the scenes crew, including the executive producer of the show and the director of CSR and social impact programming at Channels Television, Zemi Momo, who is completely proud of the finalists.
They exemplify the social entrepreneur spirit. They are bright, determined go-getters, and they've grown so much in confidence through the season. So I'm glad it's not me who has to try and pick a winner from this winning bunch. In creating FIF, Channels wanted to do 2 things when we found these problem solvers. We wanted to spotlight and support. We wanted to put the spotlight on those using business as a vehicle for good, as these efforts deserve recognition. But more so, this kind of exposure can lead to partnerships, investment, expanded networks, and so on. And we've actually seen this happen for several of our change agents already because of their time on the show, which is absolutely fantastic.
And one after the other, the 4 finalists take turns to make one last big impression on the judges in line with the passion, purpose, and profit tagline of this second season. And first to take the stand is 25-year-old Amidu Mohammed. He is founder of EcoFit Pro, an initiative that provides eco-friendly footwear with health tracking and repurposing scraps for sustainability. Next in line is the last female standing, who described herself as the king of boys, Chioma Ukpabi. She, preaching her EdTech venture, offering vocational training to tackle youth unemployment and improve skill-based job placements. She has already recorded big partnerships worth over 100 million naira on the show before today.
We must make Africa great again and show them that with our hands, we can change the roadmap to a better future.
And right after her is 22-year-old Favor Adeleke, speaking about his Kwikwi farms and how to use blockchain to connect farmers with markets while aiming for a zero-waste agricultural ecosystem.
Again, in total, we've exported and distributed 150 tons of products. Next slide.
And then it was the turn of Israel Kehinde, the founder of an innovative e-reading device, tackling Africa's textbook crisis and aspiring to deliver affordable education access continent-wide.
It is new. It has never happened anywhere in the world where you can interact with a book.
The judges recess into one final huddle for this season to harmonize their scores and agree on the winners.
The 4th position is Kiki Farms Global.
Let's put our hands together for Favor of Kiki Farms. He has come this far, and I tell you, he's a winner nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in 3rd position is Ahmed Plastibuild. Let's put our hands together for Ahmed. He comes 3rd, and he gets 10 million naira in grants.
It then came down to Israel Kehinde and Chioma Ukpabi.
Scale up with Katsol.
Congratulations to Sue. Chama is the winner from the Forward Series B. And she goes home with $13 million.
So when I heard my name, oh my God, I felt fulfilled. I felt very proud of myself and the work my team and I have put into soup.
Thank you and good night.
And that marks the climax and pulls the curtains on an exhilarating journey as Channels Television's Fund It Forward Season 2 wraps up after weeks of rigorous challenges, transformative learning, and inspiring breakthroughs.
I will say congratulations to the winner and, of course, all who participated in that. In part 2 after the break, thousands of families turn out for the 20th edition of Mommy G.O.'s Children's Christmas Party at the Redemption Camp, with the convener, Mrs. Folu Adeboye, enjoining all to imbibe the spirit of gratitude. Please join us again. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. Nigerian Army calls on members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its armed affiliate Eastern Security Network to lay down their arms and surrender or face severe onslaught. Thousands of families turn out for the 20th edition of Mommy G.O.'s Children's Christmas Party at the Redemption Camp, with the convener, Mrs. Folu Adeboye, enjoining all to imbibe the spirit of gratitude. 28-year-old Chioma Okpabi wins the second season of Channels Television social entrepreneurship reality show Fund It Forward, carting home the 30 million naira grand prize. And the deadliest accident ever in South Korea that killed 179 people on Sunday when an airliner barely landed and skidded off the end of the runway. The founder and group managing director of Emzo Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Stella Okoli, has launched a billion-naira anti-drug abuse fund dedicated to critical interventions, providing care and the rehabilitation of victims of drug abuse. Dr. Okoli, who was speaking on the company's journey in the last 40 years, reveals that Emzo is developing one of the first active pharmaceutical ingredients plants on the continent, expected to reduce its dependence on imported raw materials and promoting healthcare security for Nigeria and the continent at large.
I know from experience that Nigerians are the best people in the world. They're very intelligent. Our young people are so intelligent. The only thing you got to make them stay in one place and work. And once they have absorbed that, they even try to excel. We have a cleaner who is now one of our best electrical engineers. You understand? So opportunities are given to everybody. Nobody cares where you're from or we are Nigerians. Only recently we're hearing all these things. So it is amazing what the law can do. We love people and people love so everybody gave their best. If we have an emergency order today, everybody will sacrifice their time, whether it's weekend, whether it's night, whether it's day, and do it because they know that's how India is doing it, that's how China is doing it. So why shouldn't Nigerians do it like that? Right now, it might interest you that we have API plant. API is a pharmaceutical ingredient plant where the actual raw materials that we use are made. It was, God that, connected us to a gentleman who found me and said, Stella, are you selling this business? I said, yes. He said, I'll help you. I'll transfer technology so that you can be making APIs, especially in malaria. API, that is, active pharmaceutical ingredient. And we have the factory, and that's attracted a lot of attention, both within and outside Nigeria.
Well, for more on the success story of Emzo Pharmaceutical Company and its founder, please watch a documentary produced by Channels Television this Monday by 9 p.m. on Channels Television. Thousands of families turned out for this year's edition of Mummy Gio's Children's Christmas Party, and it's fondly called. The event, which is a brainchild of the wife of the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Mrs. Folu Adeboye, has lots of funfare, and it took place at the Redeemers High School, Redemption City in Mowe, Ogun State. In her welcome address, Mrs. Adeboye enjoined everyone to have a heart of gratitude.
It's the 20th edition of Mommy Gio's Children's Christmas Party, holding at the Redeemers High School in Redemption City, Mowe, Ogun State, and the atmosphere is full of praise and thanksgiving. Families, children, and church workers are all dressed for this year's occasion. In his message titled, "A Child in the Lord," Pastor Josiah Bolarinwa asks children to dwell in the behavior of their father, whom they truly serve.
It is very important that we look at our parents in the Lord and live after them. They can boldly say, "Be followers of me, as I'm of Christ." Their lives are worthy of emulation. They live the Bible. And that is the reason for this season.
Some of the attendees speak on their experience this year.
I have met a lot of people who can increase me spiritually, and I thank our mommy and daddy Gio because they helped us to hold this program, and this is a platform for each and every one of us to develop ourselves and to trust God more.
This year was more interesting than last year.
The chief host, wife of the General Overseer and mother in Israel of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye, expresses joy for successful outing.
Sincerely, we all want to thank God for this beautiful day He has made. We have started rejoicing over the years. This is the 20th year of this Christmas party. We started from 200 children of bricklayers, carpenters, and just redemption camp. By the time we know it, the second year, 2,000 children are on the camp. Last year, we had well over 15,000. But one thing I want you to take home today is the heart of gratitude.
To round up the 2024 celebration, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, blesses everyone present.
He will use you for His glory. You will serve God like never before. The world will hear about you. And all those who have put this program together, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, God will bless your children.
No doubt, this year's celebration had a lot going for the family, especially children. As many say, this memory will remain with them as they look forward to a better package next year.
Let's head to Cross River State now, where the Governor Basio II has assured residents of the state that he remains committed to the economic, social, and cultural prosperity of the state. Governor II is also assuring the people that his administration will continue to build and add value to the Calabar Carnival by involving diaspora band participation in the coming years. He was speaking at the flag-off ceremony of the Carnival at the Millennium Park in Calabar, the state capital, where he affirmed that this year's theme, Our Shared Prosperity, remains internationally engaging, considering the global audience in attendance at that event.
The theme of this year was shared prosperity. That shared prosperity is actually international in nature. because we have the global audience right here. We have people from all continents of the world right here. It is to tell each and every one that there's need to bring the economic, social, and cultural prosperity into what we're doing so that our people will share. I will not let out the real expo because I know that the different banks are coming with interpretation, definition, and meaning. So I will not give out everything, but I know that the judges are going to watch and give. I know that it's going to be an electric movement. Right here already, I'm seeing the energy that is here. We want to see it, and I know that the band that took first last time, the competition I'm seeing even before reaching here, I don't know whether they'll be able to maintain it. But to God be the glory, I know that definitely all of us are going to enjoy ourselves to the peak.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Minister of State for Petroleum, Senator Heineken Lokbobiri, goes round Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, to monitor availability of petroleum products in some petrol stations. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Let's head to Rivers State now, where there appears to be no end in sight to the political crisis in the state, even as the year winds down. The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, today accused the former governor of the state, Peter Odili, of siding with the current governor, Siminalayi Fubara, against him, instead of playing a fatherly role in resolving the issues. Mr. Wike made this known in Port Harcourt, the state capital, during a Thanksgiving service for the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amewule.
The Church of the Holy Spirit Anglican Communion Port Harcourt is the venue for the Thanksgiving service in honor of the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amewule. In attendance are top politicians across party lines, including the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. In his address, the celebrant expresses gratitude to God for his political journey so far.
When I was contesting the last election, I knelt down and I cried and I prayed to God. And I said, Father, if you keep me alive and I succeed, I will come back to the house of God and I will tell the world of your goodness. And I will thank you for what you have done. How did I become the speaker? Send him. He spoke to our people. He spoke to my colleagues. Allow him. I think he will do well. And the process is decision.
The FCT minister commends the Speaker for his steadfastness from 1999 till date, as well as his political wisdom in piloting the affairs of the Assembly.
Martin symbolizes a man you can talk like integrity. Right from 1999, when I was chairman of council, there was a councilor. He had never wavered one day.
Mr. Wike goes on to criticize former Governor Peter Odili for allegedly siding with the current governor, Siminalayi Fubara, in the current political crisis in the state.
In 2007, when he left power, he couldn't hear power because Amechi was the governor then. He was governor. When I came in as governor in 2015, I won't use the word he resurrected, but I brought him back to life. I have to personally call Jonas Berger to build a mansion for him. He called one Nigerians that they should go and thank Wike, that Wike has shown him love.
Mr. Wike's comments come shortly after Dr. Peter Odili publicly praised Governor Fubara for his developmental achievements in office. This exchange hints at escalating political tensions in 2025. Charles Oporum, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara is calling on his supporters to remain calm amidst the political tension in the state, assuring them that it's not time for active politicking. Governor Fubara was speaking at the 7th anniversary of the kingship installation of Eze Kasidi Ikebidi, a politician turned traditional ruler of the Akko people of Ahoda East local government area of the state. The governor, while commending the traditional ruler for his support, asked the people of Akko to embrace peace, emphasizing that development can only thrive in a harmonious environment.
it is God that has led us from that day to today. And each day we get stronger, stronger and stronger. It is only God. We are not achieving this because of our strength or because we are boasting. It's because our strength is built in God. So we don't need to worry about what people are saying. Let the time come and we'll see how it will end. The most important thing is we must ensure that we live peacefully. Development can come to your kingdom. Development can come to a ethnic nationality without peace. There will be a lot of means to bring disunity amongst you. Try as much as you can to avoid it. You know the mechanism of our people, divide and rule. Try to avoid anything that will bring problem to this kingdom, so that we'll continue to show that we love you by ensuring that we bring meaningful projects that will bring development to the entire people.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Oil, Senator Heineken Lokobiri, has been visiting petrol stations in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, to monitor the availability of petroleum products there. The minister, who's in Bayelsa State for the Yuletide celebration, went round the filling stations accompanied by officials of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Some of the stations visited include Rain Oil Filling Station at Etegwe, NNPC affiliate filling station at Etegwe, Rano Oil at Apollo, and NNPC Mega Filling Station at Berger Junction.
The sector is fully deregulated. What government is concerned about is product availability, and then products must be dispensed to customers in the right volumes. What we have seen in the past is that somebody is saying that, look, I'm selling you 100 liters, you're actually buying 50 liters. And that is why, without any notice, when I landed, having even been to my house, I've been going from one filling station to the other to ensure that, the price they are selling is not our business. Now, we've gone around, we have seen that substantially, most of the filling stations, are dispensing within the threshold. Only one or two that are above the threshold. I've also told them that, look, if you are supposed to dispense 10 liters and you are dispensing, you are seen to have dispensed, maybe 10.35, which means that you have exceeded the limit. And I've told them to adjust, their pumps. I'm going to be back there in a few days, and I want to be sure that they have made those adjustments. But the important thing is that products are available, the price is competitive, ranging from 1,015 naira to 1,020 naira to 999 naira. And this is the very essence of this government's policy of food regulation of the oil and gas sector.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested a 48-year-old businessman, Orizu Ifeanyi Offer, while allegedly attempting to board an Air France flight 844 from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to Paris, after ingesting 74 wraps of heroin and cocaine. In a statement issued by the NDLEA's Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, Mr. Orizu was arrested at the boarding gate of the Abuja airport on Sunday, December the 22nd, 2024, during the outward clearance of passengers on Air France. Mr. Babafemi says that Mr. Orizu was thereafter taken into custody for excretion observation, during which he excreted the total of 74 wraps of a class of drug over a period of 7 days. The statement adds that elsewhere, operatives of the Marine Command of NDLEA at about 2:30 a.m. on Christmas Eve, that's Tuesday, December the 24th, intercepted 2 boats loaded with 1,960 kilograms of Ghanaian loud, a strong strain of cannabis, at the Eleko Beach in Lekki area of Lagos. 6 foreign nationals who reportedly brought the consignments from Ghana were arrested during this operation. Still to come on the news at 10, the deadliest air accident ever in South Korea has killed 179 people today after the airplane skidded off the runway. Please join us again. Welcome back, and now to the arts. Now to Hold a Moonbeam is a solo exhibition by Eniola Sanyolu at the Raleigh Gallery right here in Lagos. The artist reveals her latest collection using the Impatsu technique, and we see it on Art Review tonight.
The Raleigh Gallery in Lagos plays host to contemporary artist Eniola Sanyolu's second solo exhibition called How to Hold a Moonbeam, inspired by a discussion with one of her parents.
It was inspired by a conversation with my mom. She was talking with me, and I remember zoning out while she was talking with me because I got lost in thought. I started thinking of moments when she's no longer here and how the things she has brought with her might fade away. But I'm human, so it's normal to think of death sometimes. But I found myself bringing myself back to the moment because I was missing the conversation with her. And that was me basically trying to hold on to the moment because it was gradually becoming a memory. And so that was what started the whole project, talking of memory and how we try to hold on to it even if it moves.
Natural progression on the themes of human decisions, solitary reflections, and transient experiences characterized her show.
But for this project, I mixed 3 different materials. I used oil, I used acrylic, and I used charcoal. I think the layering of those materials also sort of references time too, because I'm building something from what it was, and it's more like you as the viewer now, you don't know where this painting is coming from, like the foundation of the painting. I built it from somewhere to somewhere, and I think it sort of references what was, like a memory of how the painting started to what it ended up with. So I built on materials of charcoal, oil, and acrylic to achieve.
The works of art present a deeper reality, so it's more than meets the eyes. One of them is explained by the artist.
That behind is a picture of my niece, actually. My works are abstract figurative, so they tend to play with the eyes, so you might not necessarily see the figure immediately, but that's the idea of it. It's meant to make your eyes wander. So I titled every piece here the date I took the reference of the painting.
This artist was awarded Female Visual Artist of the Year 2018 in her graduating year, and for this show, she interrogates the transient nature of life.
In the world of sports, we begin with Nigeria's Premier Football League. Well, champions Enugu Rangers bounced back from last week's loss to defeat Niger Tornadoes 1-0 in the Bako Katangora Stadium in Minna. Former Niger Tornadoes forward Bashir Usman scored the only goal for the 34th minute to secure a road win for the Flying Antelopes. Remo Stars stayed top of that table after a hard-fought win over Aqua United, just as Shooting Stars edged Kwara United to stay in third spot. El Kanemi Warriors stunned Kano Pillars 1-0, courtesy of a 38-minute strike from Al-Amin Omar. Ikorodu City needed just a late penalty to defeat Sunshine Stars 2-1 in Lagos, while Aziz Falolu's goal earned Katsina United a slim win over Nasarawa United. In the English Premier League, Mohamed Salah scored his 16th goal of the season as Liverpool stretched their own lead at the top of 8 points, and that's after an emphatic win at the West Ham United. But Sevinho and Erling Haaland struck as champions. Manchester City provided Pep Guardiola some relief with a 2-0 victory at Leicester City. Nottingham Forest ended the year on a high by beating Everton to move up to second. Jorgen Lassen's also his late equalizer continued Vitor Pereira's impressive start as Wolverhampton Wanderers boss after a chaotic draw with Tottenham Hotspur. Dango Ouattara also came off the bench to rescue a point for Bournemouth at Fulham. Nigerian-born Eberichi Eze scored the winner as Crystal Palace came from behind to beat Southampton. Away from sports in South Korea, 179 people have been killed after a plane that were traveling crashed in the South Korean part where two survivors, one of whom has woken up now and spoken to doctors. Investigations are still ongoing to determine the cause of that crash.
It's been a day of huge grief for South Korea, still trying to make sense of the plane crash that happened Sunday morning. A Jeju Air Flight 7C-2216 barely landed and veered off the runway, erupting in a fireball as it slammed into a wall at the airport in the southern part of the country. The plane had been carrying 181 people on board. 2 crew members were rescued. Workers in protective suits and masks combed the area near the crash site, while soldiers searched through bushes and fields. An excavator was also seen picking up debris near the tail of the plane, the only recognizable part remaining from the crash. One of the 2 survivors was transported to hospital in Seoul. An eyewitness recalled hearing multiple explosions and seeing smoke plumes. He said he initially assumed it to be a fuel truck exploding. He says he was devastated to learn it was a plane crash. For 71-year-old John Jo-young, his daughter was on that flight and will not be coming home. He keeps replaying the video of the plane with his daughter and 180 other people on board, slamming into a wall and bursting into flames at the One International Airport. It is still unbelievable to him. John's daughter, Mi-suk, was on her way home after traveling with her friends to Bangkok for Christmas holidays. She was almost home, he says, and did not feel the need to make a call. Her death has devastated the family, her husband and teenage daughter, and her father, left behind to mourn her.
From Kazakhstan instead, we'll remember...
Aviation expert and former pilot Gregory Alegi said smooth belly landing and control of the aircraft on approach were not enough to stop the crash. South Korean authorities and investigators are looking into bird strikes and other technical and weather conditions as possible factors behind the crash. The Transportation Ministry said the control tower had issued a bird strike warning before the crash occurred. However, they said more investigations are needed to confirm the cause of the incident. South Korea's acting president Choi Sang-mok has declared the area where the crash happened a special disaster zone. This would be the deadliest air accident ever in South Korea.
불의의 사고로 희생되신 분들의 명복을 빌며
Suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol offered his deepest condolences to the families of those who died in the crash.
Il pensiero va alle tante famiglie in Corea del Sud.
And Pope Francis prayed for the victims.
Del drammatico incidente aereo.
The 39th President of the United States of America, Jimmy Carter, has died at the age of 100. His foundation, the Carter Center, announced that he died on Sunday afternoon, that's today, in Georgia, after nearly 2 years in hospice care. The 39th President of the United States, who served from 1977 to 1981, was celebrated for his humanitarian efforts and commitment to peace, both during and after his presidency. Mr. Carter's legacy and advocacy for global health, democracy, and human rights continues to inspire millions around the world. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. And the main news again. The Nigerian army has called on members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its armed affiliate Eastern Security Network to lay down their arms and surrender or face onslaught. We also told you that 28-year-old Chioma Okpabi has won the second season of Channels Television's social entrepreneurship reality show Fund It Forward, carting home the grand prize of 30 million naira to beat 11 other chance agents and change agents with her EdTech learning initiative, SWIM. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. Have a wonderful week ahead. Good night.